So we've been in vehicles for the last 3 years. We've had 3 different vehicles in those 3 years. We've had a Vanagon, a Westfalia, and we've had a Toyota Sunraider, and now we're in this Toyota Tacoma.
So what really drew us to living on the road was we also work as designers from the road, and we kind of just wanted to follow what inspired us, and being outside and climbing and hiking and fishing and surfing, those are the things that inspire us. And so if we can just surround ourselves by those things, we feel like we can be better designers, better artists for ourselves and for our clients. So
yeah, I think that also getting that work-life balance in order is really important for us. And you know, when we're out on the road, it's a lot easier to maintain that.
Yeah. When we punch the clock or close the laptop or whatever it is that signals the end of our day, you know, we're in a unique and really beautiful place that otherwise we would have no access to. So it's really nice just to have, the world that inspires us like right outside our back tailgate. So currently we are just sleeping in, this is just a fiberglass camper shell, and we did a really basic bed platform that has 2 full-length drawers underneath it that holds our food, our work supplies, our clothes, and I think that might be actually it. Pretty basic. So bed on top, and then on top of the camper shell we have 2 max tracks for in the event that we get stuck. It happens. And we have our Yakima box, which has gear for fly fishing, spear fishing, backpacking, camping, surfing, and rock climbing. And we carry 3 surfboards as well. I am a graphic designer and illustrator.
And I do motion graphics. Typically when we're trying to find a place to work, at least in this Tacoma, we've been going to coffee shops because there's not really any place in the Tacoma for us to work. So we go to a lot of coffee shops and libraries. Every once in a while we'll work from the truck, and we have like a solar panel set up that helps charge our laptops and stuff like that.
All of our other previous rigs, we were able to work from them, and that was a much more comfortable setup. And I think our long-term goal, hopefully by the end of the year, we can be in something a little bit more like that, just because from a sustainability standpoint of our work, that's what we need to be in. But right, we just needed wheels and some new views, and so the Tacoma was perfect for us. A typical day in the life of living in a Tacoma, team effort is the only way that this works. So we both will wake up at the same time. Owen's always on coffee duty, so he makes coffee and I'll get started on breakfast. And then when we're done with that, if we're working, then we'll just go ahead. Because honestly, the earlier we can get to our work, the earlier we can get it done, and the earlier we can get it done, the more time we have to play. So it's always, we're always trying to like leave some time in the day to play, but otherwise we usually try to find a nice hike to do, just really try to take advantage of wherever the unique places that we are. And then dinner looks a lot of the same. All takes team effort. We have to go to bed at the same time because there's some acrobatics required for sleeping in this. So yeah, every effort has to be in one direction when living in a setup like this.
And I think as we wind down in the evening, we're usually like right here actually, and just sitting here hanging out. We
like to end our day sitting on the tailgate.
Eating chocolate.
Eating chocolate. In the dark. This is pretty much everything that we own. A lot of people ask us if we have a home base or a storage unit. We are from Florida, even though we don't actually live there. We have family there. And I think that we have a storage unit, but it has family heirlooms and artwork in it, and that's it. But as far as like everyday living equipment, everything is here, everything we have. And I think that people are always really interested about how much clothes we carry. We carry about 1 cubic foot of clothes a person. And then we have 1 compression sack for cold weather stuff, and that's it. We just don't want our lives to be dictated by things. We want our life to be dictated by the experiences that we're chasing. And we felt like the best way to do that was just to have as little as possible with us at all times.
And sometimes I feel like we do have a lot of stuff. I mean, we have this like Yakima box that's just full of gear. It's brimming.
It's gear for doing funtivities.
Exactly. So I think that the biggest difficulties we find in the Tacoma is just that when it rains, we don't really have anywhere to go. So we'll just sit in the cabin, watch a movie, or we'll go someplace to spend some time.
We're so subject to whatever the weather is because, I mean, we live outside. Like, our living space is outside, and if our living space is wet, life can be really challenging really quickly. But we've been able to find some really good ways around that. Finding parks with pavilions to cook under. It's more hoops to jump through, but we always manage to make it happen.
So for showering, we usually just try and find a place that has a shower, or we jump in a lake. We also have a Nemo shower bag that we use frequently.
Or we'll like go to a climbing gym and climb and then take a shower, go to a yoga studio and take a class and then shower. And a lot of times at campgrounds, you can pay just there's like quarter or coin operated showers that are always a really good resource. It feels like we never shower in the same way 2 times in a row. So it takes some creativity to find some of those like hygiene necessities.
So as far as sleeping in the back of the truck is concerned, it's actually really, really cozy. There's enough headroom for us to kind of sit up, and but it works fine for us. We don't mind too much. We've never had a huge amount of headroom in any of our rigs, so this isn't too bad actually for us sleeping wise, and it stays really warm, which is great.
Yeah, in cold instances, when it's warm, what we do is we have a bungee cord that will actually prop this open, not all the way. In instances where we want to have it at least a little bit closed so it's not fully open. If we're totally comfortable somewhere, we will just leave it all the way open. We also have venting windows in the side of our camper shell, and I made these Velcro bug nets that go over the opening because bugs are a real issue in the summer almost anywhere. So we have bug nets for over that, and then we also have a full bug net that, because it's felt in here, and it Velcros all the way down and drops over this entire opening, so we can leave it open and we don't have to worry about bugs.
I would say that most of the time we're camping out in the wild camping. We try to be as far out as we can because we like being out in the quiet, and not necessarily that we don't like to be around people, but just that we like having our like solitude sometimes for sleeping at least.
When you get in and tuck in for the night, it can be a little vulnerable feeling, and anytime, like if somebody does walk by or another car passes by, I'm a light sleeper, so I always wake up and just kind of like to know what's going on. So it's just nice to put ourselves out in scenarios where we feel as comfortable as humanly possible when we do go to bed. A lot of people have asked if we would recommend a setup like this, and yes, I feel like 1,000 times yes, I would recommend a super simple setup. And what the benefit is there's not a huge investment in this truck. We bought the truck and we spent $350 building out the living portions of it. You really don't know until you get out and try it. And unfortunately for us, you know, we've been through 2 other previous vehicles before this one, and neither one of them were right. And we lost a lot of money in those situations.
Yeah, I think we always recommend for people to try and go out first with something like not crazy super nice, just something cheap, just to get you out there to see if you even like it to begin with before you go ahead and dive head first and make a huge investment.
There's so many things that I think that we love about being on the road. I think that the one biggest thing is that we never expected this, because when we went on the road, we knew that we were gonna get all these amazing destinations, all these beautiful places, but what has actually overshadowed that is the people. Like constantly meeting people that would never ever be in our life otherwise, and they're gonna be people that will be in our lives for the rest of our lives. And we're always in this place where help isn't necessarily needed, but can always is so helpful. And just the kindness by absolute strangers that are given to us on a day-to-day basis. I mean, it so much faith in the world just because of the way that we live and the kindnesses that are always extended to us on a daily basis. And I think that the other thing is just being able to choose how to fill every single day. And having that power over our life, I don't think many people can say that.
Yeah.
And I think that breeds a lot of happiness. We were recently in Newfoundland, and everybody has a bad day. And we were having a bad day. We were camping out kind of by the lighthouse on the point in Heart's Content, Newfoundland. And this older gentleman approached us while we were making dinner and was just chatting us up, and he was very knowledgeable on the city and the area. And he's like, I'm the mayor of Heart's Content, and I just wanted to come out and welcome you to our town and tell you how welcome you are to be here and how it's an honor that we have the chance of hosting so many people that come from all over the world and that you are taking time to be in our town. And he presented us the crest of Heart's Content in the form of a lapel pin.
Yeah.
And as soon as he like turned his back and walked away, I just started sobbing. And it's just amazing. It was just, every time a day is bad, I feel like the world just gives back in so many ways that reaffirms like what we're doing and why we're doing it and how great people are.
I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to follow Mac and Owen, you can check them out on Instagram at Bound for Nowhere. And we actually met them at a big van life meetup in Quebec called El Campo. It's a really fun event organized by GoVan, and we'll put a link to their website in the description of this video if you're interested in future events. Thanks for watching. See you next time.